Silence. Lots of silence.
No. But I do often take my Good Luck plush toy with me to conventions. It's about yay big and it's a snow leopard.
I don't really believe in good luck charms necessarily, but one thing I do is I have a grounding technique. I do this with my fingers. I put my middle finger against my thumb to feel the pressure, and that reminds me, it's kind of grounds me. It reminds me, breathe deeply. You know, anytime you want comfort, you can just do that, and you can feel your own fingers. You know, you've got this. So yeah, I just do that as I'm standing in the traffic pattern waiting to go on. I just do this. So it's my thing.
I don't have any rituals. No, what I've attempted to do as I got older, I never used to get stage fright when I was younger, and just found it, I was not fazed by it. And then as I got older, I started to get affected by it really bad, and I'd start to sort of things like I'd go onto chorus not being worried about it and go on stage and make mistakes because the fear would just kind of take over. And then with quartet, the same thing started to happen. I would have this fear, and I still do, that I'll forget the words and mess up. You kind of forget that there's 3 other people there that also know the song, so you're usually fine. So what I started doing when I started singing in my most recent quartet, I would prepare for the year by having sort of imagining myself on stage and trying to imagine the outcome that I wanted. So it would be how I would feel was the biggest thing, and it would always be like, make sure that I feel really chilled and just relaxed, and I'm really enjoying it. And then when we did prelims, we went on stage for the first time in labs, and it worked. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I don't have an on-stage ritual. What I do try and do though is just stay calm, just make sure that, we're not sort of freaking out, and try and just keep things really light. Everyone has their own kind of way of dealing with it, but I'll just try to keep things, nice and chilled. So, yeah.
Some very conscious breathing and giving a high five to my director. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, some breathing, really concentrating, and go inside. Yeah, that's what I do. No specific other movements or whistling or specific things that you sometimes see soccer players do. No, maybe I should introduce them to myself. Yeah.
No, I'm not one of those. I don't do that. No.
Not so much good rituals, except I do like to be very quiet. Chorus or quartet, doesn't matter. I like to just be quiet and centre myself and think about, if I'm emceeing, I really think about what I'm saying. I think about my breathing. I think about the intro, and I just think about, enjoy the next 6 minutes or whatever it is. So I always like to be very quiet. Don't like all the chatter. I like peace and quiet and just breathing slowly, getting myself ready to go out on stage.
No, I'm not a particularly superstitious person. I tend to be quite quiet and stay kind of in my own zone and just try to focus on what I'm about to do. I don't like distracted energy, so I try not to affect anyone else or let anyone else affect me.
No, I wouldn't say I do. No, I'm not a superstitious person.
Not rituals as such, but it's probably the one and only time that I'm really quiet. I tend to go sort of into my own little zone and go super quiet, and then people go, "Oh God, what's wrong? You're really quiet." But that's just how I kind of get into the right headspace before contests. But if people don't know, they get really worried. So I have to let people know in advance now that that's what I do.
I don't have anything specific, but I always try to just get into the zone by focusing, breathing, and going through the steps.
Well, I can't possibly answer that. Nancy's going to watch this.
That's mean. That's a mean question.
Wow.